1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Damn, I hit the low note. The low note got hit firmly and squarely. Why is this thing telling me that there's nobody in here when there are people in here? How peculiar. Oh, okay. Okay, took a couple of seconds. It took a couple of seconds. Damn. I hit the low note. Boom. Let's kill the volume on that. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what's going on. Okay. Okay. Where are we? There was another one. Buckled in. Risk assessment done. Let me see what else we got. Funny. Remember those days with the meter? Mind you, we still have meters instead of money now. It's just some kind of whatever, some card business now. Hilarious. Okay. Yes. You know what's next. For anybody joining, for anybody just joining, since we just started, you're in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi. Okay. We have launched. And now the only thing for me to do before we commence any further is to get the beat crunk. Get the beat crunk. Let's see. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's the one. I think that's the level. I'm not sure, but you let me know if you can hear. If you can hear it. It should only be faint, but you should definitely distinctly and clearly hear it. Bat-ish crazy up in the building. I think it needs a bit more volume on it. John Dealey up in the building. Matter of fact, let's do the roll call while we're here. Let's start this off now. Okay, so it's Boxing Talk with Rafi, episode number 50. We'll talk about that in a second. Episode 50, 50. Can you believe it? I still remember the first one. I still remember Boxing Talk with Rafi. Let's get some FaceTime going. I still remember the first one. Boxing Talk with Rafi 1. Damn. That was in what, February? Yes, indeed. Here we are. New guy to the channel. Just asked me earlier on literally a few minutes ago. He said, what is this channel about? All of combat sports or just boxing? I said, it's primarily boxing with a touch of the UFC. Episode 50. And I said, don't forget to check the live shows. And don't forget to smash the like button as soon as you come in. Because you know it's going to be good. Yes. Where are we? And some people were here from the get-go. From the very first day. Andy Griffiths in the building. Okay. Where are we? You know, all I take is that good nutrition. All I take is that good nutrition. You know, Rafi can pass any PED test. Oh, you can't hear the beats. Let me crunk that up. Let me get that crunk. I think my overall master value might be low. My master value might be low. Let me check that. Yeah, it's a little bit low. It's a little bit low. Okay, let me know if you can hear the beats. Let me know if you can hear the beats. Okay, so it's Boxing Talk with Rafi. It's Boxing Talk with Rafi. Okay, and it's gonna be it's a packed show tonight. It is a packed show tonight. Plenty of breaking news within the last what, 12 hours? Within the last 12 hours. So, you know how that goes. Okay, let's do the roll call without further delay. Okay, so we got the PED. It's the PED Meister. We got Andy Griffiths. Everybody smash that like button on your way in. Let me check. Everybody smash that like button on your way in. Okay, so indeed, the PED, the Andy Griffiths, is the Philip Carl Roberts. It's the Rocket Reggie. It's the Junior, the James Sutherland. The Modern Maharaja. Up in the building. It's the Bat-ish Crazy. Did I get your email, Bat-ish Crazy? Did I get your email? Did I get your email, Bat-ish Crazy? I don't remember seeing it, bro. I don't remember seeing it. Just double check on that when you get a chance. It's the John Daly. Who else we got? Who else we got? The Toby Bartlett. Okay, and I think that's it for now. I think I mentioned the Junior. Okay, so, right, let's get on with the show. Oh, dear. Right. Okay. So, without further ado, let's get this thing started. Let's get this thing started. I'm assuming that the sound volume, you can hear the music. That's good. Okay. So, first topic. Let's go. First topic, let's go. Oh, hold on a second. Let me send out something. Let me send out something. Everybody who needs the link, I think you got the link. As a matter of fact, let me put the link in here. Let me put the link in there. Okay, link is in the chat. Link is in the chat. Okay, so let's pick. Oh man, that's crazy story. Crazy story. Crazy. So where am I going to start? So much to choose from. I knew you did. I knew you did, Bat-ish Crazy. I knew you did because I knew I hadn't seen your email. You know where to find the email, right? You know, you go into the channel, you go into the About section, and then press the button, and then up pops the email. You know that, yeah? You good with that? Are you good with that, Battish Crazy? While I select the first topic. Let me select. There's a lot to choose from. Okay. 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 No. Let's start with a lighter one than that. They're all good ones tonight. I like to start off with a nice little easy one, ease the way in. I like to ease my way in with a nice little gentle one. They're all bangers. All the subjects are bangers tonight. They're all bangers. But let me get this email out too. Let me get this invite out too. I know I'm sending this one to everybody else. Should have received their invites already. Doing one additional one. There he is. There he is. Okay. Okay. Everything has been sent. And we are ready to go. Okay. So. Okay. Let's start off here. Okay. So Nigel Benn. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this one. How deep are we into the show? Okay, 12 minutes. So we're good. Getting into it early. So, let me see if I can find this article. Nigel Benn has been granted a license to fight in the UK. Saw the headline, but let me just make sure. Oh, that was 2 days ago. 2 days ago, they said he had been refused a license 2 days ago. What are they saying now? 2 days ago. Well, this is very, very interesting. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. Okay, so I saw a misleading headline. So I saw a misleading headline. But it's always good to check. Always good to check sources. Okay, so it's going to be light heavyweight. What weight? Going to be light heavyweight. That is my understanding. Okay, so am I sharing the screen? Am I sharing the screen? No. Let's sort that out. Let us sort that out. Boom. Screen share. What's going on? Entire screen share. Boom. Okay. So Okay, so Nigel Benn making a comeback, age 55, despite being refused a license. Interesting. Okay, so Ben will fight under the British and Irish Boxing Association banner when he returns in November. The British and Irish Boxing Association banner when he returns in November. Nigel Benn was refused a license by the British Boxing Board of Control, but will still make a comeback at the age of 55. The former two-weight world champion is expected to formally announce his return on Thursday, 23 years after he last fought. Interesting. Ben is expected to take on another former world champion in the form of Sakio Bika, sounds South African, 40, who last fought 2 years ago. He will do so under the auspices of the British and Irish Boxing Authority after the British Boxing Board of Control turned him down. Let's go deeper into it. The board's General Secretary, Robert Smith, told the Daily Telegraph, we were approached by Nigel Benn a few months ago, inquiring whether we would grant him a license. But he was told that we would not consider it, given his age and how long he's been away from the sport. We will not be licensing this event. It will not be under our jurisdiction. That does not stop Nigel being a guest at our annual awards dinner on Friday night, as he is a treasured member of the boxing community. Fellow BIBA licensed fighter Tommy Jacobs, who is set to fight on the undercard, told IFL TV Nigel Benn's having a comeback fight, and he's boxing on November the 22nd at what used to be the NEC in Birmingham. Okay, local. I might have to check that one out. I'm not allowed to say who Ben's opponent is for obvious reasons. Ben last fought in '96 when he lost his world title rematch with Steve Collins. His son Connor turned professional in 2016 and has a record of 15-0 at welterweight. Ben Jr. told World Boxing News last month, it's guaranteed he's definitely fighting again, 100 million %. Contracts have been signed. Since I made my debut at the O2 4 years ago, I think that's when the feelings, the emotions came back as he was in the ring with me. There's an opponent who has signed a contract. It's a former WBC world champion and a guy who fought only 2 years ago. Okay, so that's the word with Nigel Benn. It's definitely coming back. Okay, where are we? Okay, so Nigel Benn coming back in Birmingham. Okay, what's going on in the chat? Lisa Bayliss has joined us. Hello, Lisa. Oh dear. Nigel Benn's chin doesn't suit a combat. Let's have a look at what you have to say in the chat about that before I give you my assessment. Okay. Okay, so the proposed Nigel will be fighting at light heavyweight. That is the understanding. Be fighting at light heavyweight. Fight is in November, I believe. Is that what the article said? Yeah. Yeah, November. Yeah, boxing November the 23rd at what used to be the NEC in Birmingham. So it's going to be very tempting. I mean, do I feel that Nigel should be fighting at this age? But since it's just literally down the road, literally down the road, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard not to go. I hope Nigel Benn has worked on his boxing skills. His gung-ho style of old does not suit the comeback of his at this age. Well, I've watched his training and his sparring, and it's still the gung-ho style. I'm afraid to say it's still the gung-ho style. That's the style he's rocking. That's the style he's working with. Some say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You actually can, but has Nigel learned new tricks? I don't know. I really don't know. The gung-ho style seems to be the predominant style in his training. He's still whacking those hooks in. I don't see him dancing around and jabbing. It would be nice, but I don't see him dancing around and jabbing. Yeah, it is the British and Irish Commission who gave the license, not the British Boxing Board of Control. Indeed, that is correct. And it is, I believe, at light heavyweight. Yeah, definitely a warlord in the ring. No question about it. But I don't think that style is going to be the right style on the comeback. But then, has the old dog learned new tricks? One would hope so. But I am skeptical. I think he's going to go back to what he knows. He's going to go straight back to what he knows. And I don't think that bodes well. Forgetting about the fact that he's 55 years of age. Forgetting about the fact that he's 55 years of age, making a comeback. It's kind of disturbing, to be quite frank. But since it's just down the road, am I going to go? Highly likely. Smash that like button, folks. If you want to see Raf go down the road and see if I can do a little bit of filming down there, then you know to hit that PayPal button. And thanks for all the people who already have. I'm up for seeing him fight. The man loves boxing, clearly misses it. Yeah, tragic ending to the McClellan fight, but it's got to go down as one of the best boxing matches of all times in terms of action, in terms of intrigue. In terms of two hardcore warriors just going at it. It was a crazy one. I had that one on VHS. Just recently threw out my VHS tapes. Had them too long. I think I've still got the video player down there somewhere. In a cupboard. I don't know if he's going to get seriously hurt, but the potential is always there coming back at this age, at that age. I'd watch that. Nigel's tried to make the Eubank fight on numerous occasions, but Eubank, very difficult. Eubank Senior, very difficult to deal with, according to Eddie Hearn. And I think I saw an article from Frank Warren saying he'll never work with Eubank Senior again. So that should tell you something. Is it PPV? I don't know. I really don't know. Apparently, Nigel's promoting this one himself, or has got a promotional company. Got a promotional company to work with him. Yeah, tough fight. No doubt. Ross Clark in the building. I don't want to see him get hurt, but the man misses the fight game. 23 years out of the ring. Dangerous comeback. Very dangerous to come back after 23 years and at the age of 55. Very dangerous to come back. The motive for Ben Cut fighting again is not clear, but it would not surprise me if he was raising money for McClellan. I don't know about that. I don't know about the motive. Don't know if I'm going to speculate either. McClellan was a rough guy himself. Apparently not the most pleasant of characters. I remember an interview with, what's his name? Rest in peace. Head of Crunk Gym. What's his name? Damn. What was his name? It's totally slipped my mind. Head of Crunk Gym. Trainer. Emanuel Steward. Emanuel Steward. I remember an interview where Emanuel Steward was asked a question about him, and he started to answer the question, and yes, I have much experience in the ring in different forms of martial arts, my friend. And he started to answer the question, and he just abruptly finished. He said, McClellan was a rough guy, and he just changed the subject. So, and I recall another interview with a guy who I think used to hold pads for him. And the guy said he took out all my front teeth with a punch. He paid for it, though. I mean, he paid for the repairs. And then the trainer went on to say, I think he did it on purpose. I think he did it on purpose. So, McClellan, he was not... and, of course, he had a dog fighting ring. Allegedly, he used to fight dogs and what have you. There's a story that I'm not even going to go into that story about throwing a non-fighting dog in the pit, to get mauled up and chewed up. So I'm not going to sugarcoat Gerald McClellan. He was a young guy. Maybe as he grew older, he would have matured and become a bit softer around the edges. But at that time, he was a brute of a fellow. Very courageous warrior. But the story with McClellan is that he went into that fight with a concussion. He went into the fight with a concussion. So what happened in the ring was also contributed to by what happened prior to the fight. Yeah, training helps with, yeah, it definitely lifts you up. Definitely lifts you up. Yeah, all of that. Like, subscribe, comment, share. If you want to go a little bit further, then PayPal button is in the chat. The Twitter button is also in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, it was concussed before the fight. Suffered a concussion before the fight. So what happened in the ring didn't help at all. Red glove militant in the building. Little busy, too busy to jump on, but certainly listening. Good to have you. I don't know what the drug testing protocol will be. But I would imagine the British and boxing, the British and Irish. I don't know. That's a good question. What's the drug testing protocol for this one? I don't know what the drug testing protocol is for that one. Johnny Blaze up in the building. The G-Man was fighting dogs. So what? It's not a big deal in my opinion. Yeah, well, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but you know, I'm not really too much into that savagery. If a man wants to fight himself, then that's fine. But to get animals to fight for your own entertainment, I don't know. That's not really my bag, man. It's not really my bag at all. Yeah, it's barbarous stuff, barbaric stuff. Okay, so boom, link in the chat. Okay, so that's the first topic. Let us move on. Yeah. Oh dear. Okay. Right. Yeah. So we're moving on. Let us move on. Next topic. Set it on him. That's funny. What kind of dog you got, Skrilla? What kind of dog you got? Okay. So while Skrilla responds, while Skrilla responds, let me strike that one from the list. Nigel Benn, what time is it? Okay, Nigel Benn. The Nigel Benn topic has been concluded. Let me just put the link. The link is in the chat. The link to join is in the chat as we move on to the second topic. Nigel Benn is done. An Akita, the American Akita. Yeah, I'm looking for my next dog. I'm looking for my next dog, and the Akita is somewhat appealing. However, I've heard that they're not the kind of stubborn, so letting them off the lead is not the best idea. They like to do what they want to do. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I want to have to deal with that. I don't know if I want to have to deal with a dog that I always have to have on the lead. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah. Okay, looking for the second topic. Okay, so let's get into it. They are beautiful. Yeah, I know my dogs. I already know all of that. So yeah, I want to put them through obedience training, etc., etc. I think ultimately I'm going to settle for a Doberman, probably a brown Doberman. So people don't realize it's a Doberman. The black and tan ones, they're too obvious. People might think, oh no, it's a Doberman. Get a brown one, they might not realize it's a Doberman. I like training. I want to train it extensively. And they're good to train. That's the difference. Okay, but anyway, let's get into yeah. My pal had one and another dog, a staffie. Hold on, what are we talking about here? Your pal had what? What kind of dog did your pal have? He had one being what? And that was cool for 2 weeks till the staffie ate out of the Akita. Oh, it was an Akita, okay. Akita's bowl and took it by the throat. So which one took the other one by the throat? Who took who by the throat? And then what happened after that? I think I'm going with the brown Doberman. Rocky Reggie said, Raf, I heard you picked up a few dogs. Listen, first and foremost, kindly do not refer to the fairer sex as dogs. A. B. Rafi is a very selective guy. Let's just leave it at that. No, you know what I mean? So I don't go for low caliber anything, my friend. Don't go for low caliber anything. At a belter of a full Yeah, good shout on the Doberman, the brown Doberman. I had a belter of a full pedigree staffie. My mom let him run away as a pup. Oh no, that's terrible. What, the Akita killed the staffie? Good Lord. Killed it dead. Killed it dead. Got it round the throat and squeezed it till it was dead. Good Lord. Good Lord. Damn. Damn. Yeah, I think I'll just stick to the brown Doberman. They're very trainable, extremely trainable. And I'm into training. I'm into training. Damn. Anyway, let me get into this next topic and put a link in the chat again. Okay, so second topic. Oh. Wow. Damn. Yeah. For sure. Okay. What does that mean? Good shout, not wanting a dog forever. Leaded. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Gotta be able to take it off the lead. Got to be able to take it off the lead. Okay, so on to the next topic. Right, where are we? Okay, so after Tyson Fury's display, against Otto Wallin, everybody seems to want a piece. Not everybody, but the question is, has that changed people's perception? Has that changed people's perception of Tyson Fury? Remember, Fury was a type of guy where people would think, oh no, not Fury. It's too tricky. It's too finicky. Might make me look silly. I don't want that. But after the Otto Wallin fight, after the Otto Wallin fight, there seems to be a shift in perception. There's a shift in perception. Has there been a shift in perception? Has the perception of Tyson Fury changed? We've seen Daniel Dubois come out and say, yeah, I believe I could take him. I believe I'm capable of taking him right now. Better a couple of years down the line, 18 months down the line. I believe I could take him 18 months down the line, but I believe I'm capable of beating him now. So the question is, has the perception of Tyson Fury changed? Is there a changed perception? PED says yes, definitely. But he ain't easy work. He went back. I went back and watched the Wilder fight, and he looked much quicker. Yeah. I can't say I've watched the full fight. Can't say I've watched the full fight, but I have watched certain rounds. I have watched certain rounds. And yeah, he did have that movement. He did have a snap. There's an argument to say he's been in a long training camp. He's been continually training. It says it helps him with his general well-being, mental frame of mind. But was he a little burnt out in that fight? Was he a little bit overtrained in that fight? Did that make him look a tad sluggish? Or was it that Otto Wallin came with a different strategy? Otto Wallin actually turned up to win. Was it that Otto Wallin actually turned up to win? He's only fought one guy recently who turned up to win, and that was Deontay Wilder. The rest of them were just fillers. Let's face it. Pianetta. What was the other dude's name? Francesco Pianetta. The other guy came back too. Let's go into BoxRec. Let's get the names right. Let's get the names right. Okay, BoxRec. Heavy. Go. Where are we? Boom. Tyson Fury. Let's share for a moment. Just for a moment. Okay, so that's right. That's Cephas Fury. Cephas Fury. Did he come to win? No, I don't think so. Francesco Pianetta. Did he come to win? I don't think so. Tom Schwartz definitely didn't come to win. Definitely didn't come to win. So, out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights post Vladimir Klitschko. The 5 out of the 5 fights he's had since the Vladimir Klitschko fight in the 2.5 years on the sofa or in the kebab shop, wherever, in the pub. Out of the 5 fights he's had since, only 2 of them came to win, came to put up a fight, came to win. Certainly Deontay Wilder came to win. Tom Schwartz, no. And then Otto Wallin. Seems like he came to win. So out of 5 fights, only 2 of them came to win. That's telling. That is telling. Okay, where are we? Tyson Fury had a bad night. Did he have a bad night, or did his opponent have a good night? Or was it a combination of the two? I think it could have been a combination of the two. Maybe he was overtrained slightly, and Otto Wallin came to throw down. Didn't come to muck about. Tyson has traditionally and typically rose to the level to the opponent. For sure. For sure. But it does leave questions. It does leave, his performance does leave question marks. And more importantly, it does have people thinking, I could beat him. He does have opponents thinking, certain opponents thinking, I could beat Tyson. I could beat Tyson. So people going up against him now, off night or no off night, may very well have a increased sense of their own self-belief. So whether it's an off night for him or not, people will go in there with an increased sense of self-belief. We know Wilder will have had an increased sense of self-belief after that display. So a bad display can lead opponents to feel better about their chances against Tyson Fury. Fury had Wilder missing all night. Looked quite silly. Yeah. But then he didn't miss on a few occasions. And there were consequences. See what I'm saying? You feel me? I think Wilder is better than people give him credit for being. He ain't no Sugar Ray Leonard, that's for sure, and never will be. He ain't no Pretty Boy Floyd, that's for sure, and never will be. But Wilder is better than he's given credit for being. They say he doesn't have a jab. But somehow he creates the space that he needs. He creates the space that he needs to unleash those one-hitter quitters. From the first round to the 12th, he's always dangerous. And so even though I wouldn't classify myself as a Wilder fan, I do respect his destructive powers and abilities. Of that, there is no doubt. And I think he's better than people generally give him credit for. Smash that like button like Otto Wallin smashed Tyson. Says Toby Bartlett. Oh my gosh. My perception of Tyson Fury hasn't changed because in a fight, anything can happen. Indeed, anything can and sometimes does happen. Yeah, but he does that 1-2. He does that 1-2. Throws out that left and comes over with the right. With a sharp, often devastating right when he gets it right. Throws punches wrong, hence breaking his arm. Broken hand and arm. 3rd-degree burns. PED says, is it true they let in 3,500 people free and had parts of the arena blocked off for TV? Well, we're going to get into that shortly. We're going to get into that shortly. Yeah, he's always breaking something. Always breaking something. Who wants to see? Yeah, I want to see Otto. Who wants to see Otto versus someone? Someone now to see how he does. Yeah, I want to see Otto. I want to see Otto Wallin versus versus Daniel Dubois? Who wants to see Otto Wallin versus Daniel Dubois? Made a video about it a day ago. Yesterday. Seemed like it just yesterday because it was just yesterday. Who wants to, that's the question to the chat. Who wants to see Otto Wallin versus Daniel Dubois? And what would be the outcome? Leave your thoughts and I'll tabulate them when I get to them in a couple of seconds. About 30 seconds or so. Fury's had several nights off. I watched Fury v McDermott live. Fury Lust on my card. And most other people's, indeed. Fury v McDermott won. And you will also recall that Fury versus Chisora won. Was a much closer fight than the second time around. Second time around, he brought it. First time around, not so much. He does have off nights, and those off nights can be taken advantage of. Yeah, Otto versus Usyk versus Southpaws. I mean, both Southpaws. Throwing them windmills so fast his arms catch fire. Okay. The question is, who wants to see Daniel Dubois versus Otto Wallin? I think with Dubois mentioning Tyson Fury, I think that fight would be highly sellable. Highly sellable. I don't know if I'm following Frank Warren on Twitter, but if not, then I need to follow him and make the suggestion in case they haven't thought about it. Who wants to see Otto Wallin versus Daniel Dubois? And what do you think the outcome would be? Yeah, I'd watch that. I got Daniel Dubois. Says PED. Everybody else is mute. John Dealey in the building.
You all right, Rafi?
I'm good, matey. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Okay. For some reason, you don't sound particularly clear, but your volume seems to be a little bit low.
How's that?
Yeah. Better. Okay, so where are we here? PED responding again while the others sleep. So, John Dealey, my question to you is Daniel Dubois versus Otto Wallin. Your thoughts, please share.
I actually put that forward in the chat yesterday as a possible fight for Dubois. I'm not sure they'd even rush him that fast, to be honest.
Okay.
I think Frank Warren is going to continue to be careful with him.
Yeah.
Because he's got so much time. It's the southpaw thing.
Yeah.
Has he fought southpaw yet?
I don't know. That's a good question. That is a good question. Let me get into box rec. Let's answer that question. That is a damn good question. Where is he? Oh no. I need to go into the rankings. I pretty much know he's ranked about 28. Yeah, there he is. There he is. Well, actually, I need to find out if he did that. I have to go into every bout. But actually, there's only been 12 bouts. Let's do it. Let us have a look at each one. No, orthodox. Okay, so his first fight was Marcus Kelly, orthodox. Second fight, Monduyo. What is that? What does it say, orthodox or not?
He's orthodox referee.
He's orthodox. Monduyo. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see that. Third fight. David Howe, orthodox. Fourth fight. Orthodox. Mauricio Bragan. Fifth fight. AJ Carter, orthodox. Dorian Dutch, or rather DL Jones, orthodox. Dorian Dutch, orthodox. All orthodox so far. Tom Little, orthodox. Kevin Johnson, orthodox. Damn. Razvan Kalanu, orthodox. Richard Latte.
I don't think they've got enough info on the two Ghanaians.
Didn't have nothing for Latte.
No. And I've not seen anything about what Tete's stance is either, but remembering the fight, because I enjoyed the Latte fight, I'm pretty
It was a
certain
very good fight.
I'm pretty certain he was orthodox, because they would have commented on it. And the way they lined up, it looked like it was just a straightforward thing.
Yeah, I think from memory, nothing seemed strange with the stances. So everything, most likely orthodox. Yeah, you're right. So there's the unorthodox thing. There is the unorthodox thing. The element.
If I was Frank Warren, I'd put him in with Spilker first, because Spilker's fairly harmless,
fairly shot by now.
Well, he's never been. I mean, he got knocked out by Bryant Jennings before Wilder knocked him out.
Bryant Jennings, of all people.
He's not really a puncher, is he?
No.
So, Bryant Jennings knocked out Spilker before Wilder did.
That's right. That is right. He did. That's how it went down. Yeah. So Otto Wallin does. I've thought to myself, does he rush him? Does he push him up to Otto Wallin standard? But you know that Otto Wallin's like about 40 in the 40s in the rankings.
Yeah, but do you, after what you've seen there, do you think there's 40 heavyweights that can beat Otto Wallin?
I have Otto Wallin in between 35 and 25 in the rankings.
I would put him at a similar level to Dubois at this stage in his career. Dubois might end up being better, but why rush Dubois into fighting a southpaw when he doesn't need to yet? When there's an easier southpaw like Spilker to go at first.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
just for a dogfight, I think it would be a good fight, to be honest.
So, yeah, might be an idea to save the likes of Otto Wallin, even though he's ranked down in the 40s. In reality, his true ranking is more likely to be in the 35 to 25 range. That would be more accurate ranking. And of course, Dubois himself is ranked where? 28. 28. Okay. So you got a little bit of background noise there, John. A little bit of a background noise.
Is that settled now?
Yeah, I think it was some rustling. Okay, so let's go into the chat and see what people are saying. Okay, Ped likes the idea. Get the message to old fish eyes. Yeah, I might suspend that message. Might leave that for 12 months or so. I think Dubois, where are we? I think Dubois wins by KO. I don't really want to see it. Why not? Also, if Dubois wins quickly, it will expose. If Dubois wins quickly, it will expose Fury. So I don't think they would do it. Frank Warren would look a bit silly. Well, of course, Frank Warren promotes both of these guys. So, yeah. There could be an issue. Johnny Blaze, I think Triple D would beat Wallin. Fury is just too pillow-fisted to keep Otto away. But Daniel can bang. Old Fish Eyes would say, come on, Rafi, do me a favor. Darby Bartlett, I think Double D, Triple D. Indeed. Spilka outboxed Wilder for 8 rounds, but Wilder had that punch power. Chisora completely destroyed Spilka, though. Yes. Some time had elapsed, though, to be fair. Okay, so the conclusion of that is that, I didn't ask you, John. What was the question about? The question was pertaining to Fury. Do you think that performance had people thinking, had opponents thinking, yeah? Or do you think that performance gave his opponents, prospective opponents, a better feeling, a better sense that they could do better against Fury than they may have previously felt or anticipated?
I think it's highlighted why Dillian White wanted to fight him. I think Fury's susceptible to a left hand. And White's best punch is his left hook.
Yeah.
So I think it's highlighted one of his defensive frailties, to be honest. The other thing is pretty much, was it Ped that said he doesn't put enough on his shots to keep people off him? Well, I mean, you know what? That's what I think of him.
Yeah.
It's more like watching someone play TIG than box. But
say that again. More like watching
someone play TIG.
Yeah.
It's like touch boxing or something.
Yeah.
So if you walk forward on Fury, what's he actually going to do?
Well, he's gonna have to try and retreat and use his jab.
But his jab hasn't got that much on it. It's not
right.
It's not a super stiff jab, is it?
Right. No.
It's not like Frank Bruno's jab or something where it's something you want to avoid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got more on it than Hughie Fury's jab.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's not a huge deterrent.
No.
And if you put up a high guard, put your chin down, march forward and went for Fury's body, what's he actually going to do?
Yeah.
The problem with Wilder fighting him is Wilder can only knock somebody out at really long range, which suits Fury, to be honest.
Yeah.
So people have come out and said he's food. Wilder's come out and said he's food.
Yeah.
Daniel Dubois come out and said that.
Yeah.
But I think Dillian always fancied his chances against Fury anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. They have sparred before. They have sparred together before.
So yeah, I think people might be overreacting a bit because it was a southpaw, and I think Fury's susceptible on the left-hand side. On the flip side, if you've got any sort of inside game, what can Fury actually do to stop you?
Yeah, because Fury's more of a range guy.
Well, I mean, he can clinch and lean on you.
Yeah.
But if you're strong and you're big, you could probably out-clinch Fury as well, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah. I would concur. I would concur with that.
So, I'm, as you know, I'm not a particular Fury fan anyway.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't claim to be the biggest Fury supporter out there. Can't claim that.
Well, his reputation's really based on beating Klitschko mentally more than anything else.
Yeah.
And getting a draw with Wilder, because they're the only two decent opponents he's ever actually fought. And against Klitschko, he will have still been receiving the benefits of the nandrolone that he took.
Yeah, well, that's large. You see, before, for total disclosure on my end, before Fury beat Klitschko, he was never somebody who I would say, "Oh, Fury's fighting. Let me go and check that out." A Fury fight was never a priority for me. And then when he beat Klitschko, I was shocked. I didn't watch the fight. I didn't have any intention of watching the fight. I thought Klitschko would beat him handily. When I heard the news that Fury had beaten Klitschko, I was shocked. But then at the same time that I heard the news, I heard that it was a stinker of a fight. Horrible fight. Disjointed and what have you. And I think that was Fury's game. That was his intention. To fight in such a way that Klitschko couldn't get a rhythm. To fight in an unconventional, untidy manner that would keep the mind of Klitschko confused, prevent him from getting any kind of sense of patterning, any kind of rhythm. And apparently, after the fight, when asked if the game plan went according to plan, when Fury was asked if the game, Peter Fury was asked if the game plan went to plan, I think Fury chipped in and said, "Well, I just went out there and fought. Forget about the game plan. The game plan went out the window. I just fought in a way that I thought I could win." And Klitschko was just too almost. I know he's Russian, but he was almost Germanic. He was almost Germanic in his sense of method. He had a certain because Fury didn't fall into any set method or plan. He threw Klitschko's mind, through his mind. He couldn't find a rhythm, and Klitschko was tentative as well because he was confused. Klitschko was confused, and that led to him being tentative, and that led to Klitschko effectively not throwing until the last couple of rounds.
I think the press conferences can't be overlooked. I think if there's something that really unsettles Klitschko, it's somebody who's really unpredictable.
Right.
And everybody thinks it's all a big laugh and a joke, but he turned up in his Batman suit. He did all these unhinged, crazy things. And I think, and also he was actually bigger than Klitschko.
Yeah.
And Klitschko wasn't really used to that either.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think up until that point, he was still dealing with the demons of being knocked out twice.
Yeah.
So once he realised that there was nothing coming in the last two rounds and he actually started throwing, he won those last two rounds and started to mark up Fury.
Yeah.
So if there had been a rematch, it wouldn't surprise me if Klitschko had steamrolled him.
And that's one of the issues I have with. That's one of the residual issues I have with Fury. He won the title when he shouldn't have been in the ring. A, because he should have been suspended at that point. A, and then B. Okay, fair enough. You've won. Where's the man's rematch? Of course, you can't give him a rematch because you failed 2 drug tests. So now you're going to sit out before you get banned. And hopefully they're going to say, oh, forget about the ban. He sat out anyway. And then when you do come back, you still have to face the music and you still get a ban, but it's a retrospective ban. So you've already served your ban. So I don't overlook the fact that Fury beat Klitschko when he shouldn't have been in the ring with Klitschko because he should have been serving a drug suspension. And then he doesn't give the man the chance to reclaim his title. That's a lot to overlook, and I don't overlook it. A lot to overlook, and I don't overlook it. And then we have to face the facts. That Tyson Fury has not beat a top 10 opponent in 4 years. I repeat, for those who didn't hear me clearly, Tyson Fury has not beat a top 10 opponent in 4 years.
How can you say that about Tom Schwartz, Rafi? He was ranked number 2 in the WBO.
Yeah.
I mean, he's as good as anybody could have fought, according to John Fury.
And let's be clear. I know what you're alluding to, John. Let's be clear for anybody who doesn't quite catch on to the joke here or what we're really saying. Tyson Fury has not beat someone who was consensus ranked as top 10. Yes, he beat the likes of Otto Wallin, who was ranked, I think, number 4 in the WBA in one of the sanctioning bodies. He beat Otto Wallin, who was ranked. Was he 2?
Yeah, he's ranked number 2.
Number 2 in the WBO. Ridiculous ratings, ridiculous rankings, but those are sanctioning bodies. So when we say rankings, we're talking about overall consensus rankings across the board. So not just one crazy sanctioning body position. You look through the sanctioning bodies and you'll always see someone who isn't even ranked in the top 20 or 30, sometimes in the sanctioning body top 10. But really across the board, what is their real ranking? Otto Wallin is not a top 10 fighter, consensus ranked. No. Tom Schwartz is not a top 10, even top 20, even top 30 fighter, consensus fighter. But yes, he was ranked as number 2 in the WBO. So there's a difference for anybody who's unsure. I know there's a couple of new listeners in here. Let me turn up the monitor to monitor yeah, that sounds a lot better. So I can hear myself better. Okay, so that's what we're talking about when we say rankings. We're not talking about the sanctioning body rankings unless we say sanctioning body rankings. We're talking about consensus rankings. That's across the board. That is more of a real measure of a man's or woman's true positioning in terms of ability. So yeah, Tyson Fury not beat a top 10 consensus ranked opponent in 4 years. And I find that quite abysmal. Yes, you can take into account that he was on the couch for 2.5 years, fine. But he's had 5 fights since coming off the couch, and not one of them, only one of them has been a top 10 ranked opponent. And the others have been in the 30s and 40s, mainly 40s, 50s, 60s. I think he's fought somebody who's unranked, if I'm not mistaken. I think one of the Pianetta or Francesca Pianetta or
the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, the Silver Surfer, Silver Safiri, something like that. One of those guys was actually unranked, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and so what was the title of that topic? The title of that one was Oh yeah, it was everyone wants a piece of Fury now. Everyone wants a piece of Fury now, or does everyone want a piece of Fury now? I think so. Ultimately, I think that this has given potential opponents a little bit of a lift. Whether it was a bad night or not a bad night, whether he was overtrained or not overtrained, it don't really matter. Seeing him perform in such a manner, even though there are mitigating circumstances such as Otto Wallin being a southpaw, which can make it a tad different. It's a different look, so it can make things look different. Although Tyson Fury himself can fight both orthodox and unorthodox, and southpaw as they call it. So your final word on that topic, John Daly?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's highlighted what I've always thought about Fury anyway. That is smoke and mirrors. His style's smoke and mirrors what he says is smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
And I think if someone goes to his body, I think we'll see Fury in a lot of trouble.
Well, Otto Wallin was going to his body, wasn't he? And then he switched it up. He caught him with a headshot, and then he switched it up. He forgot about his game plan, much
he
like
got head happy, didn't he?
He got head happy. Got head happy, much like Anthony Yard v. Kovalev. He caught him. He was going to the body in one round. I think it was 7, or was it 7? And
7.
then and then he caught him with one to the head, and he forgot about the body altogether. Totally forgot about what was working previously. Totally 100% forgot about what was working previously. Totally threw the game plan out the window. Let's go ahead hunting happy now. We've seen it.
If you put Fury in with Dillian, I think it's a horrible night for Fury.
I think it's a horrible night for Fury.
It's left hooks that he's not good at defending against. It's body shots. It's someone who's prepared to take a few to land a few.
Mm-hmm.
And Dillian's strong as well.
He is.
I mean, he might not be as skilled as Fury. He's ragged.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on Dillian's gas tank.
Nope.
But the things that he is good at is working the body. He's brave. He's game, and he throws a nasty left hook.
Yeah. Yes. Not only that, Dillian has underrated boxing skill.
He does some really cute defensive stuff. He takes the sting out of punches nicely, doesn't he?
Yeah. I was going on to that. He's got a parry. He sparred with Chisora, who also has underrated boxing skill. He sparred with Chisora pretty much very early in his career, and made a good account of himself by his own trainer, Charles. Is it Don Charles?
Don Charles.
Yeah, Don Charles, Chisora's previous trainer, was there for the sparring with Dillian White. And I think Dillian White was early in his career. Very, very, very early. Very, 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 very early. I don't even know if Dillian had a professional fight yet, maybe 1 or 2. And Dillian did very white, and then Dillian did very white. Dillian did very well. Dillian did very well in those early sparrings, and he also showed an understanding, according to Don Charles. Dillian also showed an understanding of what skills he needed and what skills he had to acquire. And by all accounts, Dillian White studied the likes of what do you call him? Lennox Lewis with the jab. We studied the likes of Larry Holmes with the jab and the parry. So there's little cute things which are easy to miss, that Dillian White is very good at slipping and ripping. Slipping and ripping, not in the conventional sense to the body. People think slip and rip is automatically to the body, but no, to the head as well. Parrying, swaying out of shots. So it would be easy to underestimate Dillian. It looks like he's just a brute going in there, going forward, but no, Dillian has skills which are not obviously immediately obvious to the naked eye. So when it comes to a matchup with Tyson Fury, I think he would do much better than some expect.
Yeah, I possibly think he's got Fury's number myself. They've sparred as well, haven't they?
They've sparred in the past, absolutely.
And Dillian seems very confident. And Fury likes to talk about sparring wars when he's had a good result, like Miller.
Yeah.
He's very vocal about what he did to Miller.
Very much
he doesn't say a lot about what went down with Dillian.
No.
And Dillian said quite a bit, and Fury hasn't really said too much, has he?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I am inclined to believe that Dillian has reason to want that Fury fight. I know that I go in on Fury. I do know that I go in on Fury, and the reason why is because I don't like the circumstances around the Klitschko fight. I don't like it.
I go in on him because I'm not watching heavyweight boxing to watch a 12-round snooze fest with someone that can't punch.
That's a good reason to that's a good reason to go in. That's a good reason to go in. I wish and I long for the day when Tyson Fury starts to consistently fight top 10 opponents back to back.
That's not going to happen, Rafi.
Well, as a lineal champion, so-called lineal champion, that is his duty and obligation. We've already chopped up the lineal. We don't think he's lineal. We have good reason not to think he's lineal. We're going to have a debate with Boxing Librarian on the lineal thing.
Oh.
Did you not know that? Did you not know that?
When's that? I think Librarian's got him down as being lineal, hasn't he?
Yes. That's what makes it good.
Things.
That's what makes it good.
Well, it would be a good debate because Librarian knows his stuff.
Librarian knows his stuff, mate. You know that, and I know.
No, I agree. I'd like him to explain to me how Ruslan Chegev win puts Vlad as a consensus #1 and therefore lineal. Because that's
keep your powder dry.
I've got you've seen the backup I've got as well. I've got more than just that.
You got your files.
I've got some stuff.
You got your files. That's just a teaser. That's just a teaser.
But there's no disrespect to Librarian because ultimately lineal's an opinion thing anyway.
Ultimately, lineal is absolutely an opinion thing, and opinions change and opinions vary from organization to organization, from individual to individual. So that debate will be basically 3 or 4 people expressing their own view of what lineal is. And maybe, some people will come in with organizational views of what lineal is. So that's what's going to make it an interesting debate. I've yet to set an absolute date for that, but I will be in contact. Well, I am in contact with Boxing Librarian, and I and you and whoever wants to jump in will come up with a date for that. But I'm looking at that to be within 4 weeks. I think that's a good time span for everyone to get their files in place. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be an interesting discussion where different points of view on what is lineal will come to the fore. But yeah, I'm looking for, as a lineal, as a so-called lineal, as someone who is purported to be lineal, as someone who is being marketed extensively on ESPN as lineal, when there is ample evidence to suggest that he is not, on the one side of the coin, and ample evidence to suggest that he is in some people's minds. In mine, absolutely not. Anyway, I'm going to keep my powder dry on my points on why I don't think he is. I don't have him as lineal, although we've already talked about it on the channel, so anybody's perfectly free to go back and look through the files. They are there in playlists Look for the live show files. Live shows have their own playlist, so it's easy to detect. And I think we actually did 2 lives which were back to back, which one of them touched on lineal and one of them was dedicated to lineal. I think they both have lineal in their title, so there is no ambiguity about that. Anybody interested in that, just go into the channel, go into the videos, go into the playlist, and they will be easily accessible. Okay, so my final words on that is that I think lineal has an obligation. You see, yeah, we're touching on it again. Lineal has an obligation to fight top 10 fighters, at least every now and then. At least every now and then, you know, and Tyson Fury's done that once in 5 fights. That in itself, I think, is a knock. Not necessarily a disqualification, but it's a knock on the lineal. Also, I think there is quality of lineal. I think lineals have different varying qualities. You can have strong quality lineal that would be someone who consistently fights top ranked fighters, and weaker lineals, and that is those who do not. So I look forward to seeing Tyson Fury. I long for the day when Tyson Fury will regularly be fighting top 10 opponents. I look forward to that day. Will it come? We shall see, or we won't. It's one or t'other. You got any final words, or were those your final words? Got any final words on that topic before we move on?
No, I think I said everything on it.
Yeah. I think we've pretty much concluded that one. Okay. What's going on in the chat? I don't like that Klitschko didn't get a rematch. I don't like that either. Don't like that one tiny bit. The thing is, people think I'm a Fury hater, but I have watched all of his Ed fights live from the start of his career. I used to like him before he held the belts hostage for 2 years. He didn't actually hold them hostage for 2 years. He got stripped of them one by one. But he certainly tied up that lineal contention. Certainly held that up. Yeah, and watching him go through 2 camps, knowing that you're not going to fight, that's bad. That's really, really bad. The fake injury, or the injury that we think is fake, stopping him from one of the fights, if not 2. Did he claim 2 injuries? He may have claimed 2 injuries.
Vlad said he was injured for the first initial date.
Yeah.
There was speculation at the time that they just hadn't sold enough tickets. Yeah, that fight was less than scintillating. Although some people enjoyed it, no doubt. Well, it's not my idea of boxing.
Well, there we go. And I don't think you're the only one who feels that way. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Okay, White would walk through Fury's hits, I think, says PED. It's of course a possibility. Philip Carl Roberts says White started getting a bit sloppy after the Joshua loss. He started going for the KOs too early. Back to how he used to be in Chisora 2. Though, great to see. Okay, I get you. He's tightened up things in the second Chisora fight. Yes, I concur. He fought in a very methodical way, tried to fight in a more mature way. Yeah, even though people say Chisora was winning, and I think Chisora was winning on the scorecards, but I think White had a plan.
I like the way he fought against Rivas.
Yeah.
What I didn't like was his gas tank.
No, that wasn't too good at all.
But he was controlling it really nicely with the jab up until he started to run out of steam.
He was. He was controlling that fight nicely. He was working behind his jab. And Toby Bartlett, does lineal mean you ain't got to fight top 10 fighters and you can't fill out a stadium?
Yes, Toby. Someone else made an interesting point that the lineal normally holds other titles.
Yeah.
The last fighter to not hold any other titles apart from lineal was Spinks before he fought Tyson.
And the last man to be acknowledged.
Oh no, I might be wrong. It might be Foreman.
Oh yeah.
Might be Foreman.
Okay. And the last person to hold all of the belts, the last thing to hold all the belts before the WBO got recognized was Lennox Lewis. Some say the last real lineal. We know how.
That's not actually the basis of Lennox's lineal status, though. He actually got lineal title from beating Shannon Briggs.
Shannon Briggs, yeah, because Shannon Briggs was a lineal. Yeah. That's a great point. Fantastic point, actually.
So he was undisputed.
Yeah.
Which he didn't defend because he gave up a belt. But that wasn't his claim for lineal status.
Ah, marveloso. Okay, so usually the lineal champion has other titles and has to fight mandatory fights. Yes, usually.
But Fury's not the first one to do it.
No.
Foreman and Spinks definitely both did it. I mean, it was the older Foreman, so I'll give him a pass.
Yeah. This is the returning Foreman. The George Foreman grill Foreman.
The Santa Foreman.
Yeah, he's a friendly Foreman. The Foreman that talked, not the one that grunted.
Not the one that had Alsatian dogs.
Took it to Zaire.
Yeah, which
didn't even have to check it in. I don't know how that worked. Well, anyway.
Don King did apply for that.
Yeah, that was back then before certain controls. Now quarantine, none of that. Quarantine, what's that? Rule 504 in the building. I think it's pretty clear where the chat wants to take this next, wants to go next with this topic. I think it's pretty darn clear where they want to take it. Where are we going to take it? Deontay, oh, sorry, we can't take it there. We got the big one. We got a big one. They're all big ones tonight. Okay, so Deontay Wilder, Stephen Espinosa. Done a video on it today. If you have not seen it, check it out after this or tomorrow, but it's definitely worth a watch. Stephen Espinosa comes out and says, have I got this in the, do I have one of the windows open for this one? Let's have a look. Let's have a quick gander. No, Fury. Do we have Stephen Espinosa's statement? I could easily go into my Twitter, couldn't I? I could easily go into my Twitter and let me do just that. Let me do just that. Try again. I don't need to try again. Something went wrong. Try again. Something went wrong. Try again. Try again. It's not going to play ball. Close that down and go into Twitter on my phone. So much technology these days. Where is it? Oh, it's been charging. Okay, forget that. So I'll have to say it by memory. So Stephen Espinosa says that we are not prepared to take the risk. I'm paraphrasing. We are not prepared to take the risk of staging the Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz pay-per-view rematch.
The quote I like from it is, sometimes in business, the deals that you don't make are the best deals.
Who said that? Did he say that?
That's that's a quote out of Espinosa's statement.
Wow. That's even deeper. Hold on a second. Let me get my phone out. I need to get into my Twitter because I've saved some things in there. John Dealey, if you want to go ahead and express your thoughts on Espinosa's statement.
Well, I think there's a element of damage control. I think there's no way that putting Ortiz Wilder pay-per-view on Showtime, the fight will break even. I think there's a much better chance on Fox that it'll get more buys just because they're a bigger platform. I still think there's a high chance that the fight will make a loss. And I think this statement coming off from Espinosa is a serious amount of damage control to try and save face.
Yeah.
But I don't believe everything that Eddie Hearn says.
Right.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But at about the time of the Brazil fight, Eddie Hearn was predicting the end of Showtime in boxing. And I think with Wilder going, it's pretty much signaling that next year, I don't really expect to see Showtime still in the boxing business. Their schedule's virtually zero. I think they've got 2 fighters scheduled to fight on Showtime at the moment. ESPN, DAZN, and Fox have put out pretty much all their fights for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And Showtime cannot compete with any of those platforms. So I think the budget is gone. I think the return on Wilder Brazil, Espinosa's been told, "Are you mad? You want us to lose another $10 million?" So I think what Espinosa has said is the deals that you don't make are sometimes the best deals because he can't afford to take the hit on his budget.
Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna go into that. Espinosa. So first of all, I think we need to look at the beginning of this thing. We need to go back into the genesis of this thing. Okay, so we will all recall and remember. Where are we? Let me just pull up. Preview. Now, shall I pull it up? Yeah, let me pull it up. Let me pull up my video on the thing, and we have the visuals because we're talking about the same thing. So we can have the visuals from the video itself while we're chopping it up. Let's kill the volume on that. Volume killed. And that is playing. Let's bring this puppy up. Screen share. Let's screen share this. Matter of fact, let's go. Not a Fox pay-per-view fight. This is a regular Fox fight. PBC can tie in the promotion with the NFL coverage and get. Yeah, but it is a PPV. It's they're showing it on PPV though. They're showing it on PPV. That's the thing. The first one wasn't a PPV, but now they're trying to make the second one a PPV. And there's no clamor for it. There is no clamor for the thing to be a PPV, but they're making it a PPV because Wilder wants it to be a PPV. He wants that PPV action. wants that PPV Monet, but not recognizing that it's not a PPV. So, okay, I think we got the visuals. I think we have the visuals. And okay, let's get into my. Are you seeing the visuals?
Yeah, I was just going to address Rue though. CBS Sports have got it reported today that it's going to be a PPV on Fox.
Yeah, it is going to be a PPV. There is no doubt about it. It's a PPV. And so I'm going into my Twitter now. Going into my Twitter now, and I'm looking for the statement from Stephen Espinosa. This Don Twitter. Okay. So I think I found it. Right. So Espinosa on what this means for Showtime's future. Oh no. Oh, I got it. I got exactly what I was looking for. Right. So Showtime Sports head Stephen Espinosa tells The Athletic regarding Wilder Ortiz pay-per-view heading to Fox. We had the opportunity to distribute the PPV, but the deal didn't make sense to us or for us. We are not going to take what we feel is a disproportionate risk to distribute it. So, key point there, the term that I like is Espinosa saying we are not going to take what we feel is a disproportionate risk to distribute it. And why I like that term is that, even though there is partially a face-saving exercise, it is a partial face-saving exercise. Damn, I got it up on the screen in front of me. It's in the video. Even though it's partially face-saving, I think there is a level of accuracy to it. And I will expand. So, we do know that Deontay Wilder, or rather Luis Ortiz we think he has an agreement with PBC, that it has been said he has an agreement with PBC that he will be reimbursed for the money he was effectively forced to decline from Matchroom, DAZN. People say it was a misunderstanding, it was a mistake, but others feel that he was effectively forced to decline the $7 million offer from DAZN. Now, one has to speculate. Well, if it's the understanding, if it's Luis Ortiz's understanding and his team's understanding that they will be reimbursed, they will not lose anything, then is Luis Ortiz expecting $7 million from this fight with Deontay Wilder? And if so, and we know that Deontay Wilder, his minimum purse now that he's expecting is $10 million, the figure he was believed to have received from Showtime to compensate or to bulk up his normal income, his normal purse, which is typically being in the 1 million and the 2 million range. So to bulk that up because of the 20 million that was offered to him for the Breezel fight, Showtime opted to bulk it up rather than let him go to DAZN, to Matchroom, on a 3-fight deal. So now we have to believe that Deontay Wilder has something like a 10 million limit or minimum, a 10 million minimum. And with Luis Ortiz expecting somewhere in the region of 7 million, one has to look at Espinosa's statement and say, well, is it the case that the minimums that these guys were asking for could not be recouped or may not be recouped. And therefore, the risk to benefit ratio was such that they could say, actually, I think we'll pass on this because our margin, our profit margin on this one is slim to nil. Mr. Dealey, what are your thoughts?
Well, first point, the 7 million for Luis Ortiz. When Wilder was offered 20 million, the official line was he got 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say if they have given him a guarantee, it'll be more likely to be closer to 3.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can stop Luis Ortiz fighting any fight they don't want him to take. So I don't believe there's any way that whatever platform it's on, Luis Ortiz is getting $7 million.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a non-starter.
Yeah.
Has there? I know in the States they have to disclose purses. Has there been an official disclosure of Wilder's purse from the Wilder fight? Because I haven't seen one.
Only the guarantees.
And what was the guarantee?
The guarantees were in the 4 million range.
For Brazil?
No. I think the purse was disclosed. Yeah, I think the purses were disclosed. It was somewhere in the region of 10 mil for Wilder and 1 million for Breezel.
Okay. So, I mean, if you're saying that they're going to guarantee, I mean, you said they're talking about guaranteeing $17 million.
No, sorry. Normally, what we've seen is guaranteed. When I was talking about guarantees, I was talking about the Tyson Fury fight.
The 4 million was the guarantee on the pay-per-view for
the 4 million. But for Breezel, for the Breezel fight, it was actually purses were disclosed at 10 million, in the region of 10 million for Wilder and 1 million for Breezel.
So, based on what you've put forward there, Showtime were under the impression that they would have to guarantee over $10 million for this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And that you don't think that it's likely to recoup that and make a profit?
Well, you see, the thing what I think that Luis Ortiz has been holding out for 7 mil, or at least 5.
There's all sorts of rumors going on about why it's taking so long to announce the fight, aren't there?
Well, the main reason that I've heard going around about why it's taken so long to disclose a fight is that the companies are looking at the profit, the expenditure to profit ratio.
It could have just been this skullduggery of taking him off Showtime and putting it onto Fox.
Well,
that could have actually been the delay. I mean, I've heard things like Ortiz can't pass his medical, which he's supposed to have had problems with before the last fight.
Prior to the Wilder fight, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I believe that. I think that's just rumor mill.
I think it's financial.
I think it's either financial or there was some sort of contractual issue of taking Wilder off Showtime. And Espinosa's actually been fighting this and lost. So he's come out and made a statement saying, we're not stupid enough to make this massive loss. Let Fox make it. And Fox can better afford to take the hit with a view to make money in the future. They can gamble.
Fox can gamble.
Because
any way you cut it.
This fight
any way you cut it, this looks like a game of very fine margins.
I can't see how Wilder Ortiz makes profit.
And that's the root of it. That's the root of it. That's why I think it's been the delay has largely been down to the finances, because I believe, it's my hypothesis, I repeat, my hypothesis, that Wilder, because Dan's pushed up Wilder's expectations of what he should be earning, I think Wilder now has unrealistic expectations of what he can be earning or should be earning. And I don't think what Wilder thinks he should be earning is in line with the profit margins, the profit and loss margins of these providers, of your Showtimes and your Foxes. I don't believe they can match Dan's. And Wilder wants to get as close to the DAZN offers as possible, and I believe they're coming nowhere near it.
Well, I don't think
how could this be?
I definitely don't think Showtime can match DAZN, because they didn't. So when they upped it for Brazil, they still didn't match what DAZN offered Wilder.
They admitted that they couldn't match it.
Yeah. Fox is a much bigger and wealthier platform.
Yes.
So Fox could be looking at a bigger picture. I think a lot of people think there's a high chance Ruiz beats Joshua again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might actually be quite easy to make that undisputed fight if Ruiz does actually win in December.
Yeah, they're both under the PBC umbrella.
And maybe that's what one of the things Fox is looking at. Fox could bid for the Fury Wilder rematch. Their pockets are deep enough to offset what ESPN are likely to put on the table for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Showtime aren't. So maybe they're just thinking, well, we'll take a hit on this one with a view to make the money back with other fights that Wilder's going to be involved in.
That was the same business plan that Showtime had.
Yeah, but Showtime didn't have
the resources.
Or you know, the exposure to start off with.
The platform.
But
Fox has a bigger platform.
Yeah, they're just a bigger platform. But what I'm suggesting potentially is part of the delay has been that actually Espinosa's been trying to prevent this from happening and keep the fight on Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been in dispute with PBC and Fox and has lost. So that's why he's come out and made this statement to make it look like he hasn't lost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or it could be an accurate statement that he would have lost.
Well, I think it's kind of an accurate statement because I think, you know, it's going to not make any money.
Yeah. So then we come to Eddie Hearn's statement on the screen now in his back and forth Twitter beef with Stephen Espinosa. And I think he raised some very good questions. He said, 1, I'm responding to comments that proof of funds were provided. No, they were not. 2, I asked for a contract. This was flat out refused. I think the most pertinent one. 3, does Deontay Wilder have a contract with Showtime? And it appears he does not. So Deontay Wilder heads over to Fox after the long speeches by both parties, by both Stephen Espinosa and Deontay Wilder himself, and even Shelly Finkel, saying loyalty was so important, and that's what they had. But now, after Espinosa opens up the Showtime purse and empties it in Wilder's lap, Wilder exits stage left over to Fox to do a pay-per-view that nobody wants to pay for. Wilder is doing a pay-per-view over at Fox that nobody wants to pay for. I think that's when it all boils down. That's what it comes down to. Wilder's expectation has been raised by DAZN. And now he has what could be unrealistic expectations of what he should be paid, getting paid. And now that's a rod that Showtime made for their own back. And maybe Fox perpetuating that rod, making it a thicker rod for themselves, knowing that Deontay Wilder's exposure, while his exposure has increased, his numbers, his viewing figures have not. And are they riding into an embarrassing situation when the figures come back for the pay-per-view and it shows that it's rivaled only by Tyson Fury? Choppy sees ahead for Deontay Wilder's unrealistic expectations. That's my position on the matter.
Well, I mean, I'm against the general consensus on this fight anyway. I still think Ortiz is a live dog, and if Wilder's focused on other things, I think he could actually be in quite a bit of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see what Ortiz looks like before I make a final prediction, but Wilder struggles to defend against the left hand. Ortiz, for me, I know he wasn't ahead on the scorecards, but he should have been massively ahead. And he seriously had Wilder in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And Wilder was given a lot of help to get out of that situation, which is unusual, shall we say.
To say the least.
It's not something I've ever seen before. Normally, the doctor looks at you when you're in your corner in between rounds, not during the round.
Yeah. Not after that period.
No, not to extend your rest period. So, yes, Wilder could knock Ortiz out. Wilder has proven he can knock Ortiz out, so I'm not saying that that's not a possibility.
Yeah.
But if Wilder's going to try and... I mean, he's come out and he said he's going to knock him out in the first round.
Yeah.
Wilder's come out and said that this week. Well, if he comes out and tries to do that to Luis Ortiz, I don't think that's going to go very well for him.
Yeah. Well, that could be there. Yeah, that would be ill-advised, to say the least.
I mean, we saw Dominic Brazil land on him when he was trying to steamroller him.
Yeah, I did a video on it. Go back and check it out, folks.
And I think even at 40 years officially, Ortiz is a far superior fighter to Dominic Brazil.
Yeah.
And if he lands clean on Deontay Wilder, I'm still unconvinced about Deontay Wilder's punch resistance.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot think of anybody that he's fought with a good KO ratio against decent opposition.
No.
I mean...
Nobody.
If Anthony Joshua had started fighting the level of opposition Deontay Wilder's opponents tend to fight, he would still not have gone past 3 rounds.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
We're yet to see anybody with proven power hit Deontay Wilder, and Ortiz is the closest person to being remotely dangerous that he's been put in with.
Yeah, for sure.
And the other thing is, Wilder always looks bad against southpaws. Gets tagged with the left hand. It's another reason why I think Dillian Whyte wants to fight him.
Yeah.
And Ortiz, if he hadn't have had a bit of a rush of blood to the head and he'd stayed boxing more sensibly after he got him in trouble, he might have been able to finish the job later on.
Yeah.
Rather than getting caught. And he must know that. I mean, whatever else he is, he's been a boxer for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so he knows how to box. He does know how to box. I maintain that Luis Ortiz, he lost, due to expending his energy when he got Deontay Wilder wobbled in I think it was the 7th round. It's
the 7th or 8th. Wilder put him down in the 5th, and that didn't seem to phase him in the slightest.
No.
And I mean, that was as good a shot as Wilder was landing on him later on.
Yeah.
So you have got to think, did he blow his gas tank first? And it was actually more a fatigue stoppage that Wilder managed to get him out there with.
Yeah, I've maintained that. Ortiz went down due to old age.
Well, definitely gas tank.
Yeah, definitely gas tank. Brought on about by his age.
So the main reason I want to see a picture of Lewis is because he can get a bit fat.
Yeah.
So if he's developed a massive food baby,
yeah,
then his gas tank is unlikely to be better than it was in the last fight. So
he's also 2 years older.
Yeah, but he hasn't been in any wars.
He hasn't been in any wars, but Father Time keeps on ticking.
Have you told Nigel Benn that?
Yeah, I've actually messaged him on Instagram. He hasn't responded. No. No. I want to get an interview with want to see if I can get an interview when Nigel Benn comes to Birmingham. So by all means, people, remember that PayPal button is there in the description box. If you want to see Rafi chat to Nige, we can call him Nige. Then yeah, you know what to do. Yeah, you were saying, John Dealey.
I know he's 2 years older, and it wouldn't surprise me if Wilder does knock him out faster. But I think it's got banana skin written all over it. Wilder is not thinking about Ortiz. He's thinking he's just going to throw a punch and knock him out like he did against Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a very emotional character.
Very.
And I'm not sure that he's very good at following a game plan. I think we've seen him do it once against Steward in the first fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, whilst no one wants to pay lots of money to see this fight, I actually think there might be quite a lot of intrigue in it.
Whereas I think that Ortiz, 2 years older, is going to go down earlier. My prediction is that Deontay Wilder stops Luis Ortiz in 5 rounds. Actually, in the 5th round. Why am I so definite? I don't know. An older Ortiz. He hasn't looked good. He hasn't looked good since. Went down through to fatigue in the first fight. Could say mismanaged his energy. That's an old Conor McGregor line. Yeah. Round 5. Don't see it going past round 5. Second time around. I don't see many people buying it on PPV. It's going to be a pay-per-view flop.
I definitely agree with that statement.
Yeah. These are just my predictions. These are just my hypotheses.
I don't think it will do 100,000 buys.
I think it does about 150.
That remains. If it does that many, they might try and call it a success, Rafi. Seriously.
Whatever they want to call it, you know what I'm saying? We all have a little bit of, I'd like to think we all have a little bit of sense. I don't know what it is. They can call it whatever they want to call it. The first one, Deontay Wilder said he was expecting 2 million PPVs. This one, I think, gets about 150. Maybe 200. Maybe 200. Maybe 200.
Garcia Spence, wasn't that only 250?
Was that 250?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I give him in the 150 to, well, let's be realistic. I'm going to be realistic and put a ceiling of 200,000 buys on it.
This is this is just an opinion.
Yeah.
I haven't got any supporting evidence for this statement.
Right.
But from what I've seen on YouTube, the majority of the Deontay Wilder fanboys are Team Stream.
Well, BFTB is going to have some more data for his graph.
BFTB will be very busy talking about the illegal streams.
Yeah.
They may show some respectable numbers.
And hey, I think the streaming numbers are going to go through the roof. They're going to be through the roof, and of course, BFTB is going to convert a percentage of those into legitimate streams.
The trouble with that theory is any number that you take and you times it by 0 has the same result.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah. Well, I know that. And you know that.
I think BFTB must have been doing something else while maths was being held in his class.
But yeah, BFTB was never, allegedly never, an A-grade student when it came to maths. So that may have something to do with his pontifications on the subject matter. Okay, so PPV flop. Did the weasel get bit by a snake? The talk of loyalty, the talk of loyalty went out the window, proved to be just that, just talk. Showtime emptied their purse into the lap of Deontay Wilder. He took the money and fled. Exit stage right. I said left earlier on, so I'll stick with left. Exit stage left. He took the money and ran. And now Showtime, and the funny thing is I did a video on it. The funny thing is, go back in the archives, do a search. What was the title of the video? The title of the video, I remember it was in the car. I was driving in the car. Should I go back and look for it? I'm going to go back and look for it so you can see for yourself that Rafi is talking legit. I'm going to actually find that video. I'm going to look for the video, find the video. I'm going to share the process. No, that's not it. Screen share. Let's look for the video. Let's look for the video. Boom. Let's go back. Let's go back in time. I remember the thumbnail. I remember the thumbnail very, very clearly. And it was along the lines of, damn, I make a lot of videos. It was along the lines of, Deontay Wilder emptying the Showtime coffers. Can Showtime sustain? There's one in the car. Can Showtime sustain? Oh, there it is. Deontay Wilder, 10 million per fight deal. Bleeding Showtime dry. Yeah, I repeat. Deontay Wilder, 10 million per fight deal. Bleeding Showtime dry. Let's get that up. Oh yeah, this is a mad video. It was a man in a Merc. He didn't seem to know the difference between first gear and reverse. Slightly disturbing, especially as the fact that I was right behind him. Let's get the title of that and let's put that in the, let's copy that and put that in the actual, stop sharing. Let's go over to YouTube and drop that in the YouTube. Or is that us? Yeah, that is. Let's drop that in the YouTube permanent comment section so people can go back and view that. Words of prophecy, bleeding, Showtime, dry. Boom. It's there permanently. Okay, so we've chopped that up. What are people in the chat saying? Nobody gonna be paid 7 to. Let's put that in the. Let's put that up. Nobody gonna pay $70 to $100 to see Wilder KO a guy that went the distance with Gerald Washington, or even George Washington. George Washington. That is funny. That is funny. Okay, so we've chopped that one up. Let's move swiftly on. Actually, let's bring that one up. It's a PPV flop for Wilder, Ortiz 2. It's going to be a PPV flop. It is going to be a PPV flop. Let's cross that one. Let's cross that one off the list. And I had that one as down as Deontay Wilder swindles Steven Espinosa. That's actually a video. That's actually a video you can go check out. And I think it's getting late for everybody, so we're going to do the last one. This is going to be the last topic. Already kept John Dealey up way past his bedtime. Way past your bedtime, John.
I'm sat here looking like a pumpkin, Rafi.
So we're going to make this the last one. Last topic to chop up. The others, I think I'll make them into videos. Trying to pick the one to go with. Oh, okay. This is a pretty obvious one. Tyson. Oh, okay. So actually, it was an action-packed list. The others will become videos. Okay, so we're going to go with Tyson versus Wallin. Sells 3,577 tickets. I repeat, Tyson versus Wallin sells 3,577 tickets. Now, if we cast our minds back, we will recall. Let me stop the cam on this one. We will recall that Tyson's first fight on his ESPN contract, also in Las Vegas, also in the T-Mobile Arena, sold 5,500 tickets in that region. And I think there was something like 1,600 tickets given away complimentary. There were comps. And I thought it was reasonable to expect that with this being his second fight on the contract, on the ESPN deal, still in Las Vegas, still in the T-Mobile Arena, on Mexican Independence Weekend, with a card full of Mexican fighters, an undercard full of Mexican fighters, with Fury becoming Mexican for the weekend. I thought all of those factors would lead to ticket sales in excess of 7,500. That was what my projection. That's what I thought, with all of those factors, aforementioned factors in mind. On the contrary, it turns out that they only sold 3,577 tickets. How the hell can you spin that? How the hell are they going to spin that one? Mexican Independence Weekend. And they sell 3,577 577 tickets. What a calamity. What an unmitigating calamity. Who saw that one coming? I certainly didn't. John Daly, share your thoughts.
Well, I'm not that surprised. What were the Schwartz numbers like?
The Schwartz numbers were 5,500 sales, 1,600 comps. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. Where are we? Let me scroll up here. I've got a graphic. I do have a graphic. Yeah, there it is. Let me share that. Yeah, so the Schwartz numbers were... Share the screen. Boom. So the Schwartz numbers were 5,500 tickets sold, 1,600 comped. And I think any second now you're gonna see these final box office receipts as per the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Gate 999,722. Tickets sold 3,577. Comps 3,898. So they actually gave away more tickets than they actually sold. So this is like what? It's like 40% less tickets sold. 40%, 33%. 33% less tickets sold. So,
but
crazy.
I mean, the ticket price, if they generated that type of revenue,
yeah,
the average ticket price was 280 quid.
Okay.
Or dollars. Let's say, sorry, dollars. I'm not being funny, but Mexicans expect to see a blood and guts warrior.
Yeah.
Not a tickle fest.
No.
So if they actually wanted to get some Mexican interest, they should have gone for what Floyd used to do, which is be the heel against a Latino fighter, so that you sell the tickets to everybody paying to see you lose, and then you win.
Yeah.
And then they want to see you lose even more next time.
Yeah.
Rather than having some
Swede.
Well, to start off with, the guy wearing the Mexican colours is known to be a big gypsy oaf. There's nothing Mexican about Tyson Fury.
He's a traveler.
Is it? Yes. But his fighting style's not Mexican.
Nope.
He's never had any links with Mexico on any level.
His mom's not Mexican.
Nope.
His missus isn't Mexican.
He can't even pretend he fights like a Mexican like Ricky Hatton used to.
Yeah.
So why are the Mexicans going to suddenly say, oh yeah, we want to see Tyson Fury because it's our... That, you know, I would have thought quite a few of them were a bit miffed there wasn't any decent Mexican fighters fighting on their holiday. I think they'd have been better off trying to get wheeling out Chris Arreola.
Wheel him out again.
Yeah, wheel him out for that. I mean, Fury should be able to beat Arreola. And at least the Mexicans can root for somebody to beat Fury.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, my hypothesis is that with his previous outing against Tom Schwartz of Germany, I think with his previous outing, I think these figures clearly indicate that was a big turnoff. Clearly indicate that there probably wasn't much of a Tyson Fury fan presence.
Well, Why would Tyson Fury have a fan base in America?
Well, I'm talking about traveling fans. The fans traveled for his fight with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, but that's because it's against the heavyweight world champion.
Right. And so what I'm saying is that due to his fight with the likes of the Tom Schwartz, the fans have been turned off. And that is reflective of the ticket sales, or should I say, the lack thereof.
Well, I definitely agree that there aren't going to be many travelling fans from the UK going to watch Schwartz or Wallin in Las Vegas under any circumstances. But it seems to me that Bob Arum's plan is to try and sell Tyson Fury to the Americans.
Yeah.
Which has probably turned off his British fans because they've now got to pay pay-per-view at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch him fight Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin.
Yeah.
And those those pay-per-view numbers have not been released, have they?
I don't expect that. I think,
I
think those pay-per-view numbers have been locked in a vault and buried under a very, very large construction site.
Yes. That's definitely either that or something even more secure, Rafi. So, if anything, Tyson Fury has alienated his British fan base.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah.
He doesn't have an American fan base.
No.
And what Bob is doing is unlikely, in my opinion, to increase his American fan base. I do have a concern that in Nevada, they have legalized certain substances which Bob is known to be fond of.
Is Bob really fond of those substances?
Oh, he's quite vocal about it. Yeah.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He puts down his long life down to partaking in certain substances.
I heard Eddie Hearn making comments along those lines. I thought, is he being serious?
No, Bob's open about his some of his habits that are perfectly legal in the state of Nevada. But I think they may be having an impact on his judgment. Because who wants to see Tyson Fury dressed up as Apollo Creed?
Yeah.
It's more like a cabaret show. So last time he was dressed up as Apollo Creed. This time it was a giant Mexican.
Yeah, giant.
What's he going to be dressed up as next time? Because surely that's the whole point of the show, to see what Tyson Fury's wearing.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a sad state of affairs. It is a very sad state of affairs that when you see the numbers decreasing instead of increasing, you're trying to build, but because of your selection of, I mean, Otto Wallin didn't turn out to be an easy opponent, but he was certainly a relatively low-ranking opponent for a lineal fighter to be fighting. And I think the fans, or lack thereof, have sent out a very clear and distinct message about this thing. I want to see how they can possibly spin this on a day that has been known as Oscar De La Hoya Day, and more latterly Canelo Day, Canelo Alvarez Day. I don't see how the hell they're going to spin this one.
Well, it's worse than that as well, because now Tyson Fury's going to have a hiatus out of the ring. So out of sight, out of mind. The division's going to move on without him. And if he is out for a very long time, I'm not ruling out the possibility of a undisputed fight getting made.
Well, if Ruiz beats Joshua for a second time.
The thing is, let's say Joshua wins.
Yeah.
And the numbers are big.
Yeah.
After the fight. Has Joshua's stock gone up or down?
If Joshua wins, then his stock automatically goes down.
So doesn't that mean that the Joshua Wilder fight is still worth a heck of a lot of money?
Oh yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
So after everything that's going to happen, do you think they're really going to be able to tell Deontay Wilder he can't have the fight now if it's offered to him?
Well, I think he's got a contract with Fury. He's contractually.
But Fury can't fulfill it because he's potentially not going to be able to make the date.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think that depends on what's in the contract. I don't think the date was ever tied down. February 22nd was the date suggested, but I don't think that date was ever concrete. That was a suggested date.
Hasn't Frank come out this week and said that Fury would be making the date?
Yeah. No, well, Frank has said two things. Frank said provisionally or initially that he didn't think the Fury would be making that date might need to be pushed back. That was his initial utterance on the situation. But latterly, I've seen an article today where it says he might be able to make the date. So he said two different things. Which leads me.
I've heard him say both those things.
Yeah, which leads me to suspect, hypothesize that no actual date was contractually set.
The thing is, if Tyson Fury is gonna have to take a long time out of the ring, and he agrees to let them fight.
If he agrees to let them fight, then yeah, then it's a go. But I don't see him having to take that much longer.
How long do you think he'll need to be before?
I think the fight, my projected time for the fight will be supposed to be February 22nd. I don't see it being any later than any more than 2 months extra.
So that's
from February, March, April. Yeah, that's when I see the fight happening in April. 2 extra months. So if we're talking about a 3-month camp or a 3-month camp, I don't even think Fury would want a 3-month camp, a 10-week camp, 2.5 months. If we're talking about 2.5 months prior to April the 22nd, February, March, April 22nd, yeah, that's 2 months later. Then we're looking at what? February, March, April. We're looking at the beginning of February for him to start the training camp. So that's not an inordinately long period of time.
The thing is, there's no way Fury can train for a significant period of time, is there? I mean, any type of training with an injury like that. When can he start doing anything vigorous?
Physically, he can train without sparring within a month or so. Train without sparring within a month or so. No sparring. No sparring.
No, he definitely can't spar.
Yeah.
But even vigorous activity can start cut off again if it's really bad.
Yeah. That's why I say, where are we now? We're September 25th, October, November. Let's say 2 months.
Because 2 months is easily long enough for Tyson Fury to balloon up in weight.
Yeah. He can do cardio. He can do cardio. He can do the bike. He can do treadmill. He can walk. Certainly walk. He can walk. Do cardio. On the bike, he can do rowing. There's multiples. He can stair climb. There's multiples of cardio exercises that he can safely do between now and when he can start vigorous activity.
Because I just seen the way that he has behaved in the past.
Yeah.
So when they announced the date for the Klitschko rematch, it wasn't that long afterwards, the one that Klitschko pulled out of. That's where Tyson Fury took off his T-shirt and said, "Do I look like an athlete?"
I remember him doing that.
Yeah. If Tyson loses the plot a bit after this incident, I'm not saying he's going to, but because he's such a unpredictable character,
yeah,
when Tyson Fury does go off, one of the first things that happens is he puts on a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's a big setback having this cut.
Yeah.
I think he fought. I mean, he's had a lot of stick for the way he fought, but he showed that he's got heart, and he'll fight through adversity.
Yeah.
Which he also showed against Wilder. So that's one thing you do have to say about Tyson Fury is he will keep going when his back's up against the wall. But when he's out of the ring, if he goes off the rails and gets fat and goes off on one, anything could happen. So
that is true. That is true. I hear your hypothesis. My hypothesis is different. I think he's focused. I don't know how much he wants the Wilder fight. I think Wilder wants the Wilder. I think Wilder wants to fight more than Fury does. But I do think he wants the fight, the Wilder fight. I think Wilder wants it more. I think Wilder knocked him down twice, and Wilder is more confident in my hypothesis is that Wilder is more confident in the rematch. That's purely speculation on my part. I could say educated speculation, because if you knock a man down twice and almost put him in the grave in the 12th round, you know you carry the power to the 12th round. Wilder has a lot to be confident of.
I think Wilder's more confident about winning that rematch than Tyson Fury is.
I do believe so. But I still think that Fury there's no getting out of this fight. And Fury's aware of that. And Fury knows that there is no way out. So he's got to go forward. He's got to be thinking, he's got to have positive thinking about this, even though I think the momentum is with Deontay Wilder.
I think the person on Fury's camp who wants to fight is Bob. I think Wilder's interest is waned in the fight. I think he's looking at where can I make the money now.
Yeah. I would agree. His interest in the fight has waned. They are now not talking about lineal so much. However, if Wilder did beat Fury, then I think he would unquestionably have that lineal. He would have a legitimate lineal argument. There's no question about it. So yeah, I do think Wilder's interest in the fight has waned. However, he's contractually tied. They're both contractually tied to each other now. And so I don't think there's any way out. There's no way out. Other than if Andy Ruiz beats Anthony Joshua, I can't see Tyson Fury stepping aside. It's possible. Is it possible? Yeah, that would be a way out. If he really didn't want to fight Wilder again, that would be a way out. But I can't see that happening. I can't see him selling that to the public. Even if he didn't want to way out. Having said that, he can sell anything he wants to sell. You know what I'm saying? He can sell anything he wants to sell, whether it's a good sale. The only question is it a good sale or a bad sale?
So
but my feeling is that he's locked in now. He's locked in. They're both locked in. Wilder, I do believe his interest has waned, and Wilder clearly would rather fight Ruiz for undisputed heavyweight champion than wait around for Fury. Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that, but ultimately, I see Tyson Fury upholding his contractual obligation, the contract that's been signed. I don't think there's a expiry time on it. That would be crazy. I don't think there's an expiry time on it. So I do see that fight going ahead, even if Ruiz wins. Because Wilder himself has come out and said Tyson Fury won't step aside.
I think I kind of agree with what you're saying, but for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bob's getting some pressure from ESPN to start seeing a bit of return on this investment.
That's another good point.
And so Bob is the one who wants the fight to happen. And whatever, I don't know the ins and outs of what Tyson Fury has signing up to ESPN. But I do think that Bob has a large amount of control over him, because as we've seen with all of Bob's fighters in the past, Bob can stop you from fighting if you don't fight who and when he says. As we saw with Mikey Garcia. So
indeed, and we saw it with Andy Ruiz also, when they fell out with of love with Andy Ruiz Jr. And yes, we have a donation. We have a donation from Pablo Diablo. So Mexcelante, that's from Pablo Diablo. He has activated that donation button. Most appreciated. But we want to spread that thing around, get different people donating. We can't depend on the same people donating. So far, we've had donations from Pablo Diablo. Scotty 70 was the first one to donate. We've had donations from James Sutherland. Who else has donated in the past? James Sutherland's the PED. We had a donation previously from Shola Ibofin. Matter of fact, I got the damn list here. Shola Ibofin. Who else? So we had donations from James Sutherland, yes. Scott Lang, multiple times. The PED. Scott Lang again. James Sutherland again. Scott Lang again. Shola Ibofin again. Well, yeah. And I've seen a name here I don't even recognize. Who is that? BW. We had a donation from D Bro. But who is BW? If you're in here, if you are BW, let me know. D Bro in the building. And Pablo Diablo. Much appreciated. Much appreciation for the donations. I was going to say ladies and gentlemen, but it's only been gentlemen so far. Ladies, come on. Ladies, step up the game. Represent. We're living in an age of equal opportunities, equality. Show you have equal spending power also. So much appreciation for the donation goes out to Pablo Diablo. Goes out to D-Bro. All of the donators, people who have smashed that donate button, and let's spread it around. Let's get some new people hitting that donation button. Get Rafi on the road. Get Rafi on the road to hopefully see Nigel Benn, even though I don't want Nigel Benn to fight. If he's in the area, it would be rude not to pop in. So your final words, John Dealey, on this topic kept you up way past your bedtime.
Yeah, there's mice running around and all sorts. We've given Mr. Fury a lot of stick, haven't we?
I'm very conscious of that. I'm very conscious of it. I'm very conscious that I made videos about Mr. Fury, not really complimenting him. But to be honest with you, I think these smoke and mirrors, like you say, you know, there's something of the. I mean, what positive can you say? Who he's avoiding the top 10 guys? He's not fighting the top 10. Listen, I long for the day when Tyson Fury. Listen, when he fought Wilder, Did I even have a channel then? No, I didn't have a channel then, but I was on a different channel, The Boxing Voice, and I was an advocate. I was an advocate of Tyson Fury, even though I wasn't really a fan of his before then, but for stepping up to fight Deontay Wilder, I sung his praises, and I even felt it in my water that he was going to win. I envisaged the fight pretty much as it was, minus the 2 knockdowns. I fully intended to go to the fight simply based on a feeling. So I was an advocate, and then I left it a little bit, and the prices just rocketed. The ticket prices stayed the same, but the air travel prices went through the roof. The hotel prices went through the roof, and I could not. And the thing I was waiting for was to see the undercard. I was waiting to find out what was going to be on the undercard. I had a feeling that it was going to be a stellar undercard. I thought it was going to be jam-packed, massive occasion, massive event. They were going to pull out the stops, and they were going to make it an extravaganza. And it is on that basis that I bought a ticket, actually bought a ticket, and had to sell it back when the prices of everything else went through the roof. So yeah, I had my ticket. I can prove it. Do I have email? I can prove it via email in case there's any little slithery, slidey reptilian naysayer around. I can prove it. I can pull it up right now. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up on another occasion. I can prove what ticket I bought, what seat it was. I know certain people say they had tickets and they can't show no proof. I can show my proof. I bought a ticket to go see Tyson Fury. That's how much I was into it. And then news came out about the undercard. It came out late, but by then it was too late anyway. It was a crap undercard, garbage undercard. I thought they were going to pull their fingers out and make it stellar. It was not stellar. But by then I think it was too late anyway. All the prices, the airfare prices had gone through the roof, trebled, quadrupled, whatever. The accommodation price had gone through the roof. And I thought, no, I can't just travel that distance and pay that much airfare and pay that much hotel prices, room prices for one fight. Cannot do it. For a whole card, for a stellar card, absolutely. For one fight, nah, ain't doing it. So what I'm saying is that if Tyson Fury does something to rave about, we will be raving. But he ain't doing it. Against Wilder, yeah, brilliant. Raved about that. Didn't have a channel then, so I couldn't rave about on the channel. But what has he done since to rave about? He ain't done diddly to rave about. And I wish he would. I wish he would do something that we could rave about, but no. No, he just hasn't. For start, he's going to have to start fighting top 10 opponents. That's what he's going to have to start doing. But for me to rave about a guy fighting subpar opponents, sorry, guys, I just can't do it. Let him give us something to rave about. Let him fight opponents that we think, oh, that might be interesting. Let him do that and wait for the guitar. There we go. That's the punctuation mark. Put the PayPal in the link. Says Pablo Diablo, but they can't hit that PayPal in the link. I think the PayPal is in the description box. Is it not? I'm going to check now. Is it not in the description box? Where the hell is the description box? Where the hell is the description box? You see, that's the damn problem with this method. I thought I could have swore blind. Oh, there it is. Let me copy that. Can I copy that? Let me copy that and put it in the comments. I could have swore blind that damn thing was in the description box. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Can I copy that? Nope. I can show it, and then maybe I can copy it, go over here and copy it. Can I copy it there? Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. Right click. Copy that damn thing. How come nobody told me the description thing wasn't in the description thing? Guys, if you see something that's amiss that should be there, just let me know. Let me know. Be vigilant. Be vigilant. Extra pair of eyes. Boom. Extra pair of eyes. If I've missed something, let me know. Okay, so, and where's the damn Twitter link? You see, I spent time to set this damn thing up right, but sometimes if you don't hit a button, then it doesn't say what you think you put in. I mean, that's always supposed to be in the description box. I spent some time with the description box. I spent some damn time. And evidently, I must not have pressed save. So as a consequence of that, copy. I'm going to do something now I've never done before. I've never done this before. Let's hope that it works out properly. So I'm actually going to try and update. If this thing crashes, you'll know why. Videos. Let's try and sort this thing out live on the fly. What the hell's going to happen? It could crash. If it crashes, then I'll say good night in advance. Description box. Disgraceful. Empty. Absolutely disgraceful. I spent time with this. And it's empty. Description box. That's terrible. But you know what? It's all experiences. It's all experiences. Right. So now this is another experience. Now, theoretically, I should have corrected the description box to an extent. So now I'm going to close that down. I'm going to press save. This is all parts in the trials and tribute. Look at that. Look at that. It's all come good. It's come good. Look at the description box now. Look at the description box now. Yeah, but look at the description box though. I've done this thing live. I've actually solved the problem live. You see, ladies and gentlemen, this is all part and parcel of running a YouTube channel. There is so much trial and error and trials in general. You spend time trying to set something up perfectly. You spend time, you do it diligently. And then you look, and because you didn't press a button which you thought you'd pressed, it don't come out. It don't come out the way it's supposed to come out. But look now, skills are constantly up on the rise. Look how I sorted out the damn problem. Look how I sorted out the damn problem. It's in there now. It's in the description box now. Still got more work to do because I got to put the hashtags in later, which I had already done, but obviously I didn't press the like button. I mean, I didn't press the save button, and so it didn't come out the way it's supposed to come out. But anytime you see anything that's wrong, if you see an empty description box, please let me know. If you see anything glaring mistake, please let me know. Yeah, extra pair of eyes always comes in handy. Okay, so thank you for alerting my attention to the well, I can't even say it's an oversight because I actually did all of that. I spent a lot of time doing all of that, but clearly I did not save it appropriately. So, John Daly, what were we saying about the Fury thing? Yeah, well, I was saying when he steps up and he starts acting and moving like he should, when he starts moving like a champion, when he starts acting like a champion and fighting the people that a champion should fight, then we can have, because I have Tyson Fury fans on here. I know there's a number of Tyson Fury fans on here, and some supporters of the channel who are on here who are big Tyson Fury fans. But how can I hail a man that's just tickling? He's just tickling the thing. You know what I'm saying? He's not going for it gusto. He's not going for it full gusto. Yeah, he needed some warm-up fights, but he had them in Cephas Fury and Pianetta, Francesca Pianetta. He had the warm-up fights. Then he had Fury. That should have been the end up. Then he had Wilder. That should have been the end of the warm-ups. Then he should have stepped up and been fighting top 20 guys. But no, what's he doing? Fighting 50 ranked, 40 ranked guys in the top 40? No, that's totally unacceptable. You can't do that. You cannot call yourself a lineal champion and be fighting these low-hanging fruit. So he puts honest people in an awkward position, awkward situation. How can you hail a man fighting low-hanging fruit when he's supposed to be a champion? If that was the case, we'd be hailing Deontay Wilder. We'd have to hail Deontay Wilder too. He's only just stepped up. He only stepped up his opponent, his level of opponent, because he wanted more money to fight Joshua. So he had to step his game up. Otherwise, he'd still be on the PBC diet of just fighting middling guys. Just fight middling guys. Guys middle ranking guys, and get through that way for years and years and years. Well, if we don't hail Wilder for it, we can't hail Fury for it. John Dealey.
I'm the worst person to talk about this because I don't like Fury at the best of times. His style just turns me off.
Mm-hmm.
And before every fight, he talks about he's going to knock everybody out. He did it before the Klitschko fight. He did it before the Wilder fight. It's never going to happen. He's been dodging people since he ran off to Ireland to avoid fighting Pricey.
Yeah.
With the British title.
Yeah.
That's pretty much when I lost respect for him.
Mm-hmm.
After those Klitschko and Wilder, who's he got on his resume? Chisora? I mean, his resume is...
Yeah.
It's only moderately better than Deontay's.
It's only moderately better than Deontay, and Deontay arguably has stepped up. He's fighting higher rank opponent than Fury now. Well, it's not arguable, it's factual. Deontay actually turned it around. Sorry?
That's definite. I mean, Luis Ortiz he's at least top 15 if he's in top 10.
Yeah. Yeah. And Breezel, however he got there, he was a mandatory. I mean, he was skullduggery involved. It should have been Dillian White, but anyway.
He's still a top 20 fighter.
Yeah. Top 15 easily. So it's the tables have turned, and now we actually have to say that Deontay Wilder is fighting higher caliber opponents than Fury. And I don't want to hear any more excuses. Oh, he was on the couch. He was on the couch. He put himself on the couch for 2.5 years. He did that to himself.
He wasn't on the couch for 2.5 years. He had taken PEDs. He got caught.
Yeah.
And the time that he was banned for was 2 years. And that's what it would have been if they'd have done it from day dot.
Yeah. But he did that to himself, though.
But he definitely did that to himself. But his fans all portray it like he just went off the rails. He had problems and all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm skeptical about all of that. I wonder whether it was a calculated way to cover up the fact that he's a drugs cheat, because nobody ever talks about it.
And to be honest with you, that's where Rafi comes in, because when I started the channel, that was one of the things, that was one of my remits, my self-imposed remits. I was just gonna call things as I saw them, just call them as I saw them. That not just applying to overseas, foreign lands, America, over here too. And I can't cover it today because what time is this? This thing has gone long. But can't cover it today because obviously, I've got time limits. People got work in the morning. I got work in the morning. John Daly's got to get up to go to the gym before he works.
There's no gym tomorrow, Rafi.
No gym tomorrow. Sensible man. Sensible man. He just needs a day off. Everybody needs a day off.
Well, I've done 4.5 hours training today. So
4.5 hours training today. I did my usual 2 or 1.5 to 2. So yeah, I'm gonna keep the AJ. Do I go in on AJ? I don't. AJ. What's different about AJ? AJ was the one who rekindled a lot of people's interest because he was doing what other people weren't. He was doing what Fury wasn't doing. While Fury was on the couch, AJ was carrying the damn thing on his back, fighting top opponents. When Deontay Wilder was over there in America fighting easy opponents, Joshua was fighting top 10 opponents, consensus top 10 opponents, not just top 10 in the WBC rankings, inflated rankings. No, consensus top 10 opponents. When Joshua was carrying the division on his back, Fury was chilling out. Fury was on his back on the sofa, and Deontay Wilder was fighting the lowest hanging fruit that he could get away with. So that's why I give credit to Anthony Joshua. But sorry to say, folks, I have a piece coming up. Which goes in a little bit on Joshua. I'm not gonna say what the nature of it is, but I don't think he's doing everything that he can do, and there's something that he's not doing that he should be doing if he wants to beat Andy Ruiz. And I was going to go into this on this live. I think I'm going to have a different live. Might have to go, or do I make it into a video? I think I'll probably have to make it into a video and then maybe discuss it live as well. So yeah, everybody gets it, but Joshua remains the guy who carried the division on his back. He did the heavy lifting. When people were looking for the lightest weights, he was carrying the heavyweights. So literally carrying the heavyweights, pun intended. So yeah, everybody gets it. Everybody who slips gets it. Dillian White can get it because he was calling Joshua a drug cheat. And if he turns out to be a drug cheat, he's going to get it big time. He's not going to get it before he's been found guilty. But if he gets found guilty, he's going to get it too. Everybody who doesn't come up to standard is going to get it. Joshua's not going to get it for losing to Ruiz because, hey, everybody loses. But if he doesn't do everything within his power to win, then, I'm going to have to talk. I'm going to have to speak on it. And there's something that he's not doing, which is blatantly obvious that he should be doing, which I'm going to have to go in on. I'm going to have to address that particular area. Not tonight, but it's going to have to be addressed. Could be a Friday thing. I don't do Friday lives anymore, but there's so much material that, I think it's probably going to have to be done. John Dealey, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I've got some stuff to say about AJ, but at the end of the day, this show's been long, hasn't it, Rafi?
Yeah, it's not today. Anything you want on the topics covered,
I don't want to put the boot into Fury anymore. He's got
no, neither do I.
Hopefully he'll heal up and we'll see what he can do.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll do better.
He needs to do better if he's gonna. I'm not gonna be one of them people who. Who just give a man praise when he hasn't earned it, and he's not earning it. He's not earning it at all. Tyson Fury is not earning it. He's fighting low-hanging fruit, and that's not laudable. It's not laudable, and so we can't laud that which is not laudable. Well, it's 2.5 years on the couch, but I think the point John was making that it was self-imposed. He did that to himself.
That's all right. People have to agree with me anyway.
No, but clarification is okay too. What else we got here before we close this thing down? He's looking trim already. I haven't really looked at him recently. I haven't really looked at Ruiz recently. Is that what he did? Did the Enigma do that? The Enigma. Joshua Ruiz winner to fight Fury. Hey, that's another story. That's another topic. That is another topic, actually, something that I want to talk about, but not tonight, Josephine. I'm going to make a note of it. What's that sound, John?
Ooh.
Hey?
There's all sorts of things happening there.
Oh, dear. You got to realize these mics are super sensitive, my friend. Super sensitive. What am I saying? I'm saying, oh, yeah. Pablo's saying. Pablo's posted up the link. That link is in the description box. Get Rafi on the road. Get Rafi on the road. You know how to do it. You know how to do it. Okay, folks. How long we been? 3 hours and 6 minutes. It's longer than I had intended. Peeps got work in the morning. Peeps got things to do in the morning. Peeps got to get up bright and early in the morning. But, you know, we bring you this thing to you. I go through the trials and tribulations of running a YouTube channel. But, you know, it's all challenging, but there is reward in challenge. There is reward in challenge. Does it mess up my schedule? Hell yeah. But still, like I say, there is a reward in challenge. This is episode 50. Remember episode 1? Now we're episode 50. Trials and tribulations. But through every challenge, when you come out of it the other end, depending on your personality type, my personality type is I'm going through with it. I am going through with it. And what happens then is that you have a sense of reward. A sense of reward. Is it a graft? Yes. Is it a grind? Yes. But is there a sense of reward? Absolutely yes. Do new challenges occur all the time? Yes. But is there a sense of reward every time you conquer a new challenge? Yes. Ain't a walk in the park. It's like an obstacle course. Is there reward in getting through an obstacle course or a series of obstacle courses? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. What else is there to say? Thank you to John D. Lee for coming on. Any final words, John D. Lee?
Good show, Rafi. And I'm off to bed.
Sorry?
Good. It was a good show, and I'm off to bed, I think.
You and me both. You and me both. Good to have John D. Lee jump on, taking time out of his day. You should smash the like button just for that, anybody who has not. And what else is there for me to say? Well, damn, I've got through another one. Just ate my dinner, and guess what? I'm hungry again. I got some grapes in the fridge. Think it's going to be some red and some, I call them white grapes, but they're actually green, but whatever. Yeah, red and white grapes before bed for the Rafi. Might sneak a little bit of cheese in there. I know that's very naughty of me, but it might happen. It very likely will happen. So we got through another one. Been a busy day for me, but still banging out. And of course, last but not least, it's the chat. You've always got insomnia. Ped says you always got insomnia. I reckon Ped's a vampire. The vampire of Scotland. His Ped is right here. He's right here. I haven't got insomnia. Waiting for my bed. But last but not least, thank you to the chat, without whom there is no show. I'd be talking to myself. And John will be talking. It'd just be me and John talking, which is not a bad thing. But it's nice to have people to share one's thoughts with. Okay, so thank you to John. It's thank you to the chat. It's the Pablo. It's the Philip Carl Roberts. It's the Rocket Reggie. The cheeky Rocket Reggie. It's the, who else we got? I'm scrolling up. The Pablo Diablo. The D-Bro. The Toby Bartlett. All up here in the building and much more besides. And thank you to the silent listeners. Thank you to the silent listeners, and thank you to the haters. Can't forget the haters, the little 5 thumbs down. What was there to thumb down? Hey, haters, the show's for you too. I'm glad you enjoyed it sufficiently to stop by. Hey, appreciation to everybody. It's been Raphael Dawkins. It's been the Boxing Talk with Rafi, episode 50. That's right, 50. Okay, talk boxing, talk some good boxing, good chat. Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. It's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comment, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And with that, I'm out. We are out. And the only thing left to say is blessed.